Hi, this is Lori. I'm here today with a journal share of this pink and green journal, and this one's for Ruth Ann. So this is the outside of it. It has this old vintage doily with some sari ribbon, and this is upholstery fabric here. The inside is upholstery fabric as well. There's a view of the top. This has 3 signatures. There's the side, the bottom, and the back. And this doily is not stitched on. I think of it like a shawl, so you can just take it off and set it aside. But I thought it was pretty and added a nice element of trim to the journal. So here's this upholstery fabric. I think I'm not sure how you say it, either Jacobean or Jacobean is a style of design on it. I think it's gorgeous. The inside is lined with this botanical word fabric. There's a pocket that goes all the way through to the back, and more of the same upholstery from the cover is here to make that pocket. And the inside is made from an Amazon mailer. I love to recycle those. Tucked in this pocket are a couple of die-cut leaves, just for fun. And in here there's a letter from the bookmaker that I will let Ruth Ann read. A little journaling card here with a leaf charm. And these are photo corners, old-fashioned photo corners, and this comes out, so it can be written on both sides, and some kind of secret things written back there if you'd like to do any secret journaling. This is a deconstructed envelope lined with vintage music paper, and just has a few things inside to use and glue in if you'd like. And that just tucks in that pocket. It's a piece of crushed velvet at the top with some picot trim and a stamp. This is some vintage eyelet fabric that I just stitched onto a piece of, I think it's an index card, and I made it like a little fabric flip. This green paper is called straw paper, and I get it from Italy. It just has a nice texture, and just have some more paper tucked inside. This page, there's more of that green straw paper, but I treated this with wax, so it gives it a little translucence. And there's just a piece of paper there to write on. Of course, this can be written on as well. So a spot here where you could tuck in something if you wish. This is a piece of vintage music paper, and you can see the teacher's handwriting in some cases, which I think is cool. There's more of it there. This is a bundle of papers to write on. It's a large, from a large book I have that shows English cottages, or English gardens, cottage gardens. And then there's just some paper inside that can be written on, and that's tied up with that string, tucked in that pocket. On this page, there's some garden plans here, just for fun. And in this long pocket, there's a long skinny tag that can be journaled on. This is the center of the first signature, and on these strings that tie the signature together, I've just added some scraps of lace. Inside this pocket, I love that paper. There's a velvet ribbon and a little decoration, more garden plans, and some tracing paper that can be written on. This is the back of a paper bag. I'll show you the other side in a minute. This is vintage wallpaper here, and I love this vintage lace. It looks like a tutu or a little skirt. I think it's so cute. So there's a tag that tucks in there. And the tag, or the little charm here, says believe. There's room to write on the back. And then this is an Italian document. I think it's from 1962. I do not think it's 1862. And then on the back, there's more wallpaper with this little tuck spot and a piece of vellum. My father-in-law was an engineer for many years, and he had a lot of things from General Motors over the years in his stash. So I'm happy to have that. This is back in the day when they had numbered pages that they would record things on, and it's really very organized. And that just clips on here. And then here's the front side of the paper bag. And just tucked in there is this little pack. I think this is reminiscent of a stained glass window. And inside, some filigree patterns. And then more like a garden plan. This is a paper clip that I've attached some fun things to, and some more papers. Just wraps around. It tucks in there like a little belt. And it all tucks inside. This is a ribbon that I made out of discarded fabric from sari manufacturers in either India or Nepal. This is the end of the first signature. The signature is just a group of pages. This is a German, either a German dictionary or a German English translation. And this is just a napkin that I decoupaged onto a piece of paper. Tucked a little thing there and space to write on. This is a piece, this is antique, this lace, it's just beautiful. And I just tucked a little embellishment in there. This is from a vintage shirt, probably from the 70s. This clip is holding on this paper, which is kind of cool the way this is folded. Like that, with plenty of room to write on both sides. And then it just folds back on itself. It's tucked inside there and clipped on. This is the other side of that belly. This is called a belly band. It just wraps around. And in here is a little pocket with just a couple things tucked inside. This is a little bit of a hidden pocket. You can't see what's in there too well. The lining of the pocket is the same as the top of the pocket. Inside, just a little booklet, places to write. This embellishment was treated with wax as well, so you can see that it's a little translucent. The center of this signature has this vintage mother-of-pearl button and a leaf charm. It's a piece of paper here and a doily that's been treated with wax. There's a little cartoon from the New Yorker book of cartoons. This one's about cat cartoons. Remember the expression when the mice will play when the cat's away? Well, the mice are playing and the cat is saying, "I'm not even away." The audacity. So I know Ruth Ann might like cats and dogs, so I wanted to include that. This is a piece of lace with this is vintage trim that's just attached to that. And more little scrappy pads. This lace wraps around onto this side as well. It's a pretty butterfly there with a gold overlay. Excuse me. This is an envelope with a few treasures tucked inside. This page is lined on the side with this tuck spot, and then these flowers are made from half circles of fabric that are just folded back on themselves with this vine ribbon underneath and some very old lace, and then the base of it underneath it all is some music paper. Tucked inside there is this document that's been folded up to make a pocket. It's more of that tutu skirt lace, which I think is so pretty. This is vintage wallpaper. This is some Italian paper. More of that garment and an applique. And it's all tucked together in this copy of a warranty deed. The date that shows up here is 1919, but the document was actually created in the 30s. It's that nice onion skin sounding paper. This is a little side tuck, just some paper. It just tucks in there. This is a magnetic closure that goes over the top of the page. There's just magnets tucked in there. And it's just holding down some more paper. That's the end of the second signature. The third signature is here. I had this vintage hanky, and it had an R on it, and so I included that. R for Ruth Ann. This is a piece of like children's writing tablet. This is also a piece of vintage ledger here. I just put some washi tape on the bottom. And tucked in there, just a few more embellishment pieces. Here's a cartoon from the New Yorker Book of Dog Cartoons. This one says, "It's always sit, stay, heal. Never think, innovate, be yourself." I thought that was funny. The other side is a graduation day at a dog training class, and it says who's doing what, and then it says not shown because they're fetching Toby, Tutu, and Roxy. It's cute. And in honor of all things dogs, there's a tiny little dog button that's just attached with a hat pin. This is cute. This is some Italian paper. This opens up, and there's a kind of an envelope there with some papers. This is vintage accounting paper. Sorry, Ruth Ann. This is a page from a book I have, a botanical book. It's a pretty applique from, I think this was a doily that was falling apart. So I liberated the daisy. And this is also a pocket. You could tuck something in there if you wish. This is the center of this signature, and there's a butterfly that's sewn in. This is really pretty. And on the signature strings, a couple pieces of lace. This is also antique lace along this side. It's beautiful. some stamping there, just embellishments. This is just a little embellishment. This is very old lace here. And then this daisy is from the same disintegrating doily that came from. It's a smaller cousin. I like the way this turned out. I like the color combination in that paper, and then I thought, well, why not throw on a few sequins too? And this just tucks in. It's paper to write on, but it folds back on itself and then tucks in there. It's velvet ribbon on the end of the paper clip. More garden plans. And tucked inside is this paper. This band actually slides on and off. I won't take it off, but it's not glued on at all. It's just a band to keep things there in place. This is a paper clip. The tag on it says blessed. And imagine on the back. Just some pretty pictures here. It can be written on the back. And a piece of writing paper that's been folded up. So you can move the paper clip to wherever you'd like, inside or outside the journal. And the last thing back here is, since this has some lumpy, bumpy things in it, sometimes it's hard to write on. So this is a writing board. It's just music paper on one side and this digital. So it can either, be a placeholder too, but you just put it down and then it creates a smooth surface for you to write on. It's in the back. And one last leaf made from fabric, tucked into this pocket. And this back here is a deconstructed envelope. You can untie that. I won't untie it. Inside there's just a couple things tucked. This is a Italian document from the 60s, I think. Tucked in there, and then the flap is folded back here with a couple of things tucked in there. And it just lives in the back pocket. So that is that. Put the shawl back on and tie it up. Thanks for watching. Bye.